they triggered the silent alarms. It's like...
Wow. Hello everyone, welcome to Bar Psychology. My name is Bakari K. George. I am a professional bartender in the Washington D.C. area, and this is Reading the Action, a show where we pick the trending movies on Netflix and kind of analyze the characters and see how I would go about getting them to like me. You know, my goal as a bartender is to get a big tip. A lot of you have goals when speaking to other people, and it helps if they like you. So here's how here's a little bit of my process, and we will break down the specific characters. Okay, I was going to watch Dangerous Lies is #1 today, Netflix. It is, it's the 3rd of May. But I don't want to watch that movie. It doesn't look like something I'm into. So we're going to skip down to the next movie, which is Extraction. Alright, Extraction. You got Chris Hemsworth. I don't want to butcher these names. You can look it up. You'll see it. It's an action movie. Looks good. Based on a book, action adventure. Directed by Sam Hargrave. I don't know any of his work, but yeah, we'll check it out. Alright. If you're into watching this with me, I will include a link to the long form where we can watch it together, and you can see where I'm getting these reads from. They always point to somewhere where you can click. I'm just gonna point around and put it somewhere. But yeah, let's get started. Extraction. Good. Alright, so far the movie opens up with a wealthy family. We don't know the family, we just see their operation. They have a caravan taking the kid around after school with bodyguards and everything else. This tells us it's probably the antagonist, and they probably have a lot of money. Alright, just keep that in mind. Just a little note. Okay, so we just met the big boss. He's in jail. Looks like a powerful sort of guy. You want to think when you're negotiating or talking to anyone, when you want them to kind of like and respect you, you're going to think, how can I add value to this person, to this engagement? As a bartender, or really as anyone else dealing with this guy, he's got money, he's got connections. There's nothing I can really do for him besides not waste his time. So I probably wouldn't try to talk to him too much, get him what he needs. I wouldn't ask him too many questions. Just kind of get him what he needs quickly and then get out of the way and let him do what he needs to do. I might try and anticipate things he might need. That way he doesn't have to waste time asking. You know, that might be how I start to work a big tip out of this guy. But, you know, just based on what I know, 8 minutes in, that'd be my move. Alright, we're about 14 and a half minutes in. We've just met the protagonist, Chris Hemsworth. I'm assuming he's a protagonist. And we find him in Australia. He's poor. Kind of has like an ex-military vibe. Kind of reckless. You know, you see him jump off this giant cliff. And from the intro scene, you know he's been shot. And he's probably dealing with some pain. So in his house, he's got some Oxycontin and some other painkiller drugs and a lot of whiskey. And so he has a drinking problem. He's got a bit of a drug problem. And a woman flies in. I guess she works for... We kind of get the plot of the movie now. She works for the bad guy, the antagonist in jail, whose son was kidnapped or abducted by a rival. And to get him back, this woman comes in and pitches a job for Hemsworth here. She sees he's got some drugs lying around, and he tells her he needs the money. There might be a weird backstory with like a lost kid or something like that. Maybe he had a son that lost. I'm not sure. I'm not even sure how I would, handle this guy just yet. But these are the things I'm picking up on about him, and they will play into how I treat him. But yeah, it's at 14 and a half minutes. Let's keep rolling. Alright, 22 minutes in, we just saw the first fight scene. This dude's a badass. Like, this is a good movie. I like this movie a lot already. So, after watching that, working in D.C., there's a lot of, retired SEALs, retired Marines, and people that, defense contractors, and people that do all kinds of dirty work outside of, governing bodies for money. And when you identify one of these guys, and this is not, basics, this is very, very advanced, nuanced sort of strategy, but I usually try to pick on them a little bit. Guys like this that are so serious, they have such a serious, dirty job, that making fun of them and getting them to laugh and kind of teasing them about, the way they are a little bit, oh, can't open that beer with those muscles, something like that. Just kind of get their mind into like a, the more positive sides of being a human, joking with each other. These guys are big into loyalty and integrity, so show that in some kind of way. It's easy with a bar, if someone looks like they could use some food, if they see you, just buy them some food, just do something for, good for a person. You can usually get their respect and kind of get them on your side, on top of picking on them a little bit. I wouldn't do that unless I had a really good read on the person and already built a little bit of rapport. But with this guy, that's kind of where I would look to end up. Alright, 27 minutes in, we just met the rival antagonist, the other gang member. I see what they're doing with the plot here. The first antagonist we met is very strategic. He thinks things out, very focused. And we just met this guy, and the first thing you see him do is have his henchman throw a kid off a roof and then tell another kid to cut his own hands off. So he's a little bit wilder, loose cannon. My read on him is he needs like visceral results, stuff that you can really feel. And he's very, very intelligent. It's going to be interesting. Hemsworth, that first fight he just took. Actually, I'm not going to spoil anything. Okay, so 45 minutes in, we just had another big fight. There is another assassin against Hemsworth's character who is working for... They're basically both working for the same person, but they're both trying to get the kid. They're both equally skilled. They show a little bit of this other assassin towards the beginning of the movie, and trying to get deeper reads on these characters. The other assassin is employed by the first bad guy, the first antagonist. I can't think of his name, but he is he's motivated because I assume if he doesn't complete this mission that the big boss will kill his family. So he's got a family at home, he's got a nice home. He wears a suit to work. He doesn't usually do this kind of stuff. At least it doesn't seem like it, but he can, and he's highly motivated. Deeper reads on Hemsworth's character he said he's motivated by money, but he's, being a protagonist, he's got a lot of integrity and character, and I think he really is trying to do the right thing by this kid and keeping him safe, and very, very focused. I'm getting sucked into the movie. I want to see what happens. Let's keep it moving. Okay, so we did just confirm there is something deeper with this guy, Hemsworth. He's got, I think he's lost a kid in the past. I think that's exactly what it is. He just received instructions to leave the kid there because the deal fell through. Everything's kind of messy. Leave the kid there, get himself out. They'll come and get him. He's still trying to play on this give me my money thing. I'm doing the job. The job is the job. But he doesn't want to leave the kid there. He cares. He's motivated by he's got a paternal kind of force going on. It's a very strong force. Good to know about someone if you're, dealing with them, negotiating with them, buying something from them, selling them something, whatever. It's good to kind of figure out what motivates them, what their pain points might be. Good movie. Let's keep it going. Alright, we just saw bad guy number 2. He's the one who kidnapped the kid in the first place. He's in Bengal. This whole place is taking place in not Bengal. This whole place is taking, this whole situation is taking place in Bangladesh. He's the one with the kind of craziness, like wild unpredictability. I just saw him in a scene with all this opulent jewelry and clothes, eating a very, 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 very fancy meal. And he's definitely the sort of guy I would just go ahead and tell him, hey, listen, the best things I can give you, and just give him all the most expensive stuff. He'll decide whether he buys it or not, but I think he would recognize the fact that having the option is what is most pleasing to him. When you can buy anything you want, the most expensive things aren't necessarily, they don't make that big, they're not that big of a deal. But remembering that you have the option, that's kind of the pull, at least I feel like, with living that kind of lifestyle, or at least flaunting that you live that kind of lifestyle. You want people to recognize the fact that you can. So that's how I would play him, just getting a little bit more information on him from that scene. That's at 1 hour and 6 minutes, by the way. Let's keep it moving. Alright, so we just got the backstory. His kid died from... The character's name is Tyler, by the way. I don't know why I just put that together, learning people's names and remember them is a very, very powerful and easy way to get them to like you. I just dropped it, but his name's Tyler, and he did have a son who died at the age of 6 from lymphoma. So yeah, that's kind of why he's, drinking and works in this industry. He was a military guy, but he's still doing it, even though he's not in the military, for private freelance, because, he's running from that. That's a minute and 12, we find this out. There's another person in the fold, the guy that's kind of helping him out. I don't know his name. He seems like the same sort of guy, kind of like a military background guy who's kind of trying to live life more positively after the fact, let things go. Reed, I get off of him. He likes to have fun. He's the sort of guy that'll sit with his back to the wall and watch the door, but also get blackout drunk. Anyway.
this town don't want us. It's like...
Wow. Just finished the movie, Extraction. Good movie. Great ending. Pretty basic plot there. A couple of little, interesting things that happen, but it's your basic plot. Themes are redemption and doing the right thing regardless of how much money's involved, and rich people kind of using poor people as pawns. It's kind of the same old, but this is an interesting take on it. It's fresh. It's acted very well. If I had to give someone an award for best actor in the movie, it'd be the kid. I don't know his name. I should figure this out. Alright, yeah. If I had to give an actor an award for this movie, best actor, it would be Rudraksh Jaiswal, the guy that played the kid that got kidnapped. He blew everybody else out of the water. Hemsworth is good, everyone else is good, but he killed everybody. He just destroyed everybody. Going back to the reads, my read on that kid, let's start with him since he was the best. He looks a little young to be drinking in my bar, but if I needed him to like me, I'd probably talk about the calming aspect of music. He mentions how he plays piano to kind of... when he's nervous, he likes to play piano, so I would try to build some sort of connection there. He's a smart kid. I would try to figure out what he's into and then try to build a connection off of that, books, things like that. Past this screen, the actual actor, I'm going to fail on his name again, the actual actor, Rudraksh, that's his name. I noticed he has a broken shoulder. There's a scene where you can see a broken shoulder bone. It's real life broken shoulder bone. So I'd probably assume he's into skateboarding or snowboarding. It looks like one of those breaks. Maybe even some sort of martial art. I'd bring that up and try to connect that. As far as Hemsworth, Tyler Rake, I think his name is in the movie. Yeah, he's, standard military guy, maybe a little post-traumatic stress, a little bit of, lost in his own thoughts. To get him to like me, I probably, if we were talking and I, needed him to be on my side, I'd probably, like I said earlier, kind of pick on him a little bit for being so big and tough. I'd probably try to find a way to stick up for him in somehow. Something light, something easy, but just something that shows that I kind of respect what he's done. And then also, this is more for bartenders, but a guy like this, a big way, what do you guys drink? They all say Jameson or something. Let's say there's 4 of them, or just him by himself, or any group, add 1 more shot of Jameson to all of them. Take care of the round. Hey, this round's on me. Thank you guys for your service, whatever. Here's an extra round for whomever, you guys left over there. And that usually builds a big rapport, just having respect for the dead and what they do. Let's keep going. The other guy, his counterpart, I think his name was Saju in the movie, but the rival assassin. Like I mentioned, he was motivated by family. He's a real family man. I'd probably ask him questions about, what his kids are into, what he does to kind of have fun with them. I'd probably get on that. Obviously he does martial arts, so I might bring it up, but he doesn't really seem like he likes it. It's just something that he can do and what his job is. There's the woman that hired him, Nick, her name is. She's a badass, but she's wearing, I notice, a very expensive watch. Even when she's in the field, she's got a nice watch on. She's well dressed when she comes to hire him. So even though she's rough and tough, she likes, nice things. I'd probably, I'd probably pick on her too a little bit. Not a lot. She does take herself seriously, and but just something to lighten the mood around her. I'd figure out a way to kind of get her off of her pedestal, try to lead the conversation towards childhood memories or things like that to kind of get her out of her serious kind of badass vibe. If I was making her a drink, I would assume she drank, if she wasn't a military badass, I would say vodka martini, really nice stirred, nice vodka, maybe even gin, some sort of martini, white liquor, premium, slightly dirty, something like that. But since she does have that military background, I'd go with bourbon. But she is refined, so I'd probably use a Manhattan, get her like a really, really high-end Manhattan. Nice. Yeah, that's about it. Everybody else in the movie isn't really worth talking about. Just the main characters. That's kind of how I read those. But yeah, good movie. I recommend it. Great for like a Saturday or Sunday afternoon. I don't think it'll win any awards. The action was very, very good and interesting. Kind of fresh too. The fight scenes seemed fresher than other ones. The style. But yeah, I recommend it. Like I mentioned earlier, if you want to watch the long cut, just click the link below. I'll just put it in there. And if you like this sort of stuff, I have a link, or you're interested in kind of looking at things this way and how to communicate with people effectively and productively, click the link. Click the link in the bio where you can get started. I have a 3-step checklist on there that'll get you talking to anybody, anywhere about anything in 2020. I definitely highly recommend you checking that out. It also comes with a free handshake guide, but it's more of a joke. I had that made for a while, but yeah, click the link in the description to get started on that if you're into it. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.